I got you, people. Being that everybody's talking about this FBA and the hip hop, and it's also transitioned to gangster rap, and now it's a controversial. Who made it? Who contribute? Who's not allowed to claim it? But anyway, I have something here that has to do with the FBA, and I just gonna put something out there so you can listen to it and you go assess what the theory is about, or how this FBA come about, or how are these people that are claiming all these things from the FBA are suffering for something they call FBA itself. That's the same abbreviation that the foundational Black Americans are talking about and are pitching out there to all these platforms. And with that, I'm going to put something out there so you can check it out.
Hello and welcome to Teachings in Education, the Functional Behavioral Assessment. And let's first begin with some background. Functional behavioral assessments have their place in education, but its roots can be linked back to the sciences. The functional behavioral assessment has...
So this theory about the FBA deals with functional behavior assessment, right? How people behave. So this theory that I'm putting out, or this thesis about explaining what the foundational Black Americans are going through,
as its origin in applied behavior analysis, also known as ABA. Functional behavioral assessments are an essential component to positive behavior supports. So what purpose does the functional behavioral assessment serve? Its purpose is to determine the function behind a student's behavior. Hence, functional behavioral assessment. The goal is to identify the purpose of the behavior.
And we already know that a lot of color folks, Black folks, don't know how to behave. And it's not all, it's some. So we cannot judge everybody, but mostly the few give a bad rap to everybody else.
Functional behavioral assessments are implemented to have long-lasting effects. Ultimately, you want to produce a long-term behavior change.
You don't want to change.
Next, the support team.
Support team.
If you really want to make an FBA work, you should create a support team. That way, everyone is invested. And the team can include teachers, paraprofessionals, parents, behaviorists, case managers, etc. and so forth.
I don't think they have that.
Let's look at the steps educators take.
Or if they do have the support team, those support teams ain't there, because I'm sure the mothers ain't there, the fathers ain't there, psychologists ain't there. And we don't know, because nobody's talking about, no professional has come out from the FBA and spoken on the matter. It's just a lot of rappers, street thugs, gangster rappers, people like that, but nobody with a professional title in the FBA yet that I have seen or have heard. But anyway, let's continue with this video.
The first step begins with simply defining the behavior. It is important that the behavior is something that you can track. So the behavior must be defined in measurable and observable terms. The behavior also should be defined in a way where it can be assessed. Then educators can evaluate the behavior by frequency, duration, and intensity. Next step, collect data. Think of a functional behavioral assessment as a scientific experiment. You're going to need data to make inferences. So gather data to determine the cause and function of the behavior. The next step is to formulate a hypothesis. Again, think of an FBA as a scientific investigation. First, analyze the antecedents, both fast and slow triggers, along with behavioral consequences. Based on that analysis, create a hypothesis. The hypothesis is a statement of what the underlying behavioral causes are. Next up.
Yeah, and it looks like Fat Joe caused a whole lot of behavior, right? Amongst everybody, and everybody's into it. But anyway, it's got nothing to do really with Fat Joe. It's got to do with the behavior of how people react when you ask them a question. Then you get the answer, and they don't like it, and they start behaving irrational.
Create a BIP. And what does BIP stand for? Behavior Intervention Plan. Writing an actual behavior intervention plan can be time-consuming and a lot of work. The plan should include positive supports. This step is followed up with the implementation of the BIP plan.
But the only thing that I think that these people in the platform have in the BIP, the support is arguing with other people. They're arguing amongst themselves. Like they don't want to correct the problem. They just add to more problems. So how you gonna intervention of something that the people don't want to correct, or they don't want to correct that? I think they love the drama, the fight, right? The intense. You know, they like to feel pressure. They just want to ignite. That's how they function. They function with trouble. But anyway, let's continue.
Planning is important, but so is its execution. And remember, be clear and authentic in your instruction. And work.
Now, nobody in these platforms are authentic, right, and clear about what the message they're trying to put out there. Nobody's trying to correct and fix their race, their ethnicity, or their communities, right? They rather function more in killing themselves and fights, destruction. They like to live in chaos. So I don't know what kind of intervention they would like to happen, because if you try to correct them, they don't like it. They're going to call you a sellout because they want you to fit into their own agenda. Whatever ideas they got, any ideology, you got to fit into them. If you of that same race, no matter what they do, you got to fall in. If you don't fall out, they want to ban you or take you out of any participation that they're in because you don't fit in. You have to be, with them no matter what happens. You have to support them, right? It's right or wrong, you have to support them. There's nothing about it. You can't say nothing about it. You just got to follow.
Work towards building positive relationships. And now the last step, monitor implementation. Look to see if the behavior is increasing or decreasing.
What do you think?
And check in on the support team from time to time. Make sure you solicit their input. Right now, I just want to say thank you for your time.
So, FBA is necessary to complete, so they say, when a specific behavior or emotional concern is disrupting the academic progress of an individual or person and others within the community. So I don't know if it's the same abbreviation, but according to this research, FBA means functional behavior assessment. You tell me what you think. Is the FBA foundational Black Americans are going through some behavioral problems? You think about that, and I'll let you go.